What's up, guys? This is Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be going over some great throwing drills for QBs that can improve your throwing motion. So fellas, when it comes to a throwing motion, the keys as a quarterback is that you just don't want to lift the ball directly up to 90 degrees, and you don't want to drop the ball down low where it's like almost like below your belly button. You want to be somewhere in this like opposite equal range, or some type of backstroke. That's at least what we refer to it as, when your front foot gets down, so your hip rotation can bring you up to that 90-degree angle. You do want to get up to 90, but you don't want to lift straight to 90. I'll explain why. So, and then we're going to get into 3 drills that will help you with that. So the reason why you don't want to be this quarterback who lifts the ball directly to 90 when their front foot gets down is when you're up at 90, the second part of your throw is rotating with your hips. That plays a big role in what your arm path actually does. So a lot of times when quarterbacks lift directly to 90, they'll rotate, and what happens is that they don't get any external rotation in their shoulder. External rotation is when like your hip is ahead of the shoulder and there's this slight rotation back with the ball. A lot of times with quarterbacks who have really strong arms on deep throws, like Patrick Mahomes, for example, he gets a ton of external rotation. And there's even some on shorter to mid-range throws. A lot of guys that lift straight to 90 just go straight there, and there's not much external rotation in their shoulders. So what happens is that they lose a little bit of power, and sometimes the ball comes off like sideways off their hand. Now, another reason you don't want to lift to 90 is a lot of quarterbacks will lift straight up, and then when they rotate through, they'll lean, and the ball will go almost behind their head. So that can cause you to miss high. It's a longer release path, and if you're wearing a helmet, full pads, not the most realistic spot to be, and it's going to feel uncomfortable. So what we want to ultimately do, we don't want to drop it low either, because that takes a long time, and then you have a slow release. We want to be somewhere. A lot of QB coaches focus a lot on getting to a perfect 90. Don't need to get to a perfect 90. It could be a little bit above, it could be a little bit below. Your palm does not need to be parallel to the ground. It could be slightly tilted. Ball doesn't want to be straight down. Ball doesn't want to be up. Somewhere in that range is where you want to be. So this first drill, the reason why we want to get there is because when you're here and your front foot gets down, when your hips rotate and bring you up to 90, you release the ball away from your head. And it's a faster way to get to something called extension, which is how you get more rotations on the ball and how you're more accurate. Extension is when your wrist, elbow, and shoulder flick in a straight line towards the target. Now, if you're here to there, it's a much faster extension point, and you get a little bit more external rotation in your shoulder to help you with power. So this drill works on us going from that opposite angle to vertical 90, and we're going to show it to you full speed in a second. So all you're going to do, your front foot's already going to be planted like you've taken a stride to the target. Let's say the camera right here is the target. Your hands are already going to be back in this position. You're going to do 2 quick rotations with your hip, and then on the third one you're going to throw. So you're going to be here, it's going to be 1, 2, third one we throw, and we rotate all the way through. So this just works on getting used to that like stimulus of the hip bringing the arm up to that 90-degree angle. So we're going to show you how this should look full speed. Great drill that you guys can do to improve that backstroke to vertical 90 position. Now fellas, before we show you that drill full speed, if you are a quarterback watching this or a receiver and you would like to train with myself and my staff of coaches this offseason, we are going to be traveling out to 15 different cities across the entire U.S. for 2-day-long QB and wide receiver training camp. So guys, if you want some more information, want to sign up, go to that very first link in the description below. That's where you can get all the information, you guys. We're going to be coming out to San Francisco, California, then Orlando, Florida, Phoenix, Arizona, Columbia, South Carolina, Seattle, Washington, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, Nashville, Tennessee, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, Austin, Texas, Atlanta, Georgia. Then we'll be heading out after Atlanta to Denver, Colorado, Boston, Massachusetts, Columbus, Ohio, Salt Lake City, Utah, and finishing it off in Los Angeles, California. So guys, want some more information? Very first link in that description below is where you can sign up. All of our camps last year, guys, sold out probably 3 to 4 months in advance. So make sure you please take advantage of the fact that we have open spots, because we'd love to see you there. So guys, very first link in that description below. Let's get back to this drill. Now fellas, this next drill kind of works on pretty much the exact same thing as the last drill, but now we're adding a stride element to it, and it's only going to be a 2-part sequence drill. So you're going to start out in a good throwing base, weight loaded on your back leg, nice and light on your front foot. All you're going to do is you're going to get to that backstroke position as you take a stride. So you're going to be here, stride, come back, do the exact same thing, and throw on the second rep. So it's just getting us comfortable getting to that backstroke position, not dropping low, not lifting up to 90. If you're a quarterback that struggles with like nose placement of the ball, where you go up or you go down, the reason why you don't want to go down is that can make your elbow go low. Reason why you don't want to go up is that can cause your wrist to break, which gives you a bad spiral. This is a great drill to work on that good wrist position and ball position. So again, you're set up here, step one, come back, step, and actually throw all the way through. So we're going to show you from a different angle how this should look full speed. Now fellas, a lot of quarterbacks, when they go back into that backstroke position, the thing that they struggle with the most is being able to rotate their front shoulder when they get to that backstroke position to put us in a position called dissociation, which is how quarterbacks can increase torque on their throws. Torque is how we get more velocity on my throws. So for example, if I'm a QB, when I take a step to my target, obviously what do we want to do? We want to go back to that backstroke position, that like opposite L, if you will, right? Now, a lot of QBs, when they do that, they open up their front side. So what happens is when their hips start to rotate to bring them up to the 90, their shoulder and hip are both opening at the same time, which can cause us to lose power, because what gets us power is our hips being able to rotate before my shoulders do. So what we want to do is when we step, I want my shoulders to rotate back. When I step, I want to try to keep weight onto this back leg, because that makes it easier for us to rotate back. And then guess what? The hips fire through before the shoulders, and that gives us more of a whip, and will also increase the amount of external rotation you have in your shoulders. So this drill just kind of gets us used to rotating into my back leg and throwing. So you can have a partner for all three of these drills that we just discussed. Your partner's maybe about 10 yards away. You don't need a lot of space for this. So partner's gonna be 10 yards away. Feet are gonna be underneath your shoulder frame. All you're gonna do is you're gonna step to the right with this foot, rotate your shoulders, and throw. Reason why we do that is when you step to the right and rotate and throw, your back leg is in the same position as you should be when you stride to the target, so you're getting used to rotating into this back leg. It's just a simple drill. So we'll show this full speed in a second, but all you're doing is you're just stepping, rotating, and throwing. Left foot should try to stay grounded in the grass the entire time when you do this. But this is a great drill to work on the proper shoulder rotation to get us to that dissociation position on our throws.